Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday, March the 13th, race number 10 at Gulfstream Park. We're going a one-turn mile for 3-year-old fillies. It is a starter optional claiming race, and if you sign up for a DRFBets account, you double your action immediately. Find out more at bets.drf.com. Let's meet the field for race number 10 at Gulfstream on Wednesday. You can download free Formulator Pass performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them and handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1, Caroline Lois, who just didn't do much in the first start against winners at 40-1 and is going to have to face the horse Dana Grace that finished ahead of her last time.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 4 of those fillies exiting that common stakes race. And like you say, of those horses, it just feels like Caroline Lois is the one that she just needs to step her game up by leaps and bounds to even be competitive in here. And that's saying something, because I don't think this is a very good field.
Mary Lee and Me has won at this distance, at this meet. That was 2 starts back, where she just went right to the front against mere $20,000 claimers. And she put a hurting on that field. Off that race, the connections decided to try Dana Grace, and that didn't work out very well. I'm expecting her to be a little bit more forwardly placed this time around, because she just didn't break last time.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wonders if that's the way for this girl to try to get back to the winner's circle. Your speed nearest the rail. I think you just send, if you're Batista, and you say, come and catch me if you can. Again, this is not a star-laden field. If there's a scenario where you get out there and you're the one cutting out the fractions, that might be tough to run down.
There are things to like about the number 3, Hill Valley. She won at this level 2 starts back, going 7 furlongs in her final start as a 2-year-old. She went off at 6-1 last time out, and I wonder if it was just that outside post position. She just couldn't really gain good forward position in the early portion of that race, and then she backed up. It was a disappointing effort, to be sure, but some of her races at 2 were okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, if you think you can project forward that she's at some point going to take a step forward here as a 3-year-old, then yeah, she's a little bit intriguing, but there was a part of me that was just so disappointed. She didn't do any running at 6-1 in that most recent run. She's another one that just needs to get back to her best races to have any chance.
Let's take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector for race number 10, because I believe the horse to beat and the horse to catch is the number 4, Helen, who is taking a significant drop in class after competing against stakes horses last time out at Laurel.
Yeah, I mean, congrats, gal. I think she's a nice one. At the time, she was a 2-year-old, and we haven't seen her come back. But the runner-up came back and earned a 64 buyer in her next start. So you can make the argument that she faced better horses in that Smart Halo. The question now is, what are you going to get here? First start as a 3-year-old. First start for the Barbosa barn. She had been with Claudio Gonzalez in Maryland. Never easy to take a horse from Gonzalez and move them up. There is just a part of me that looks at it and says, if she runs that run 2 starts back, I simply put, I think she's going to win.
And those were against, legitimate non-winners of one other than stock, not starter optional claimers, not condition claimers. It was at the one-turn mile configuration. And what I like about this filly is she doesn't need the lead to be successful. Let's say Mary Lee and Me wants to revert to those gate-to-wire tactics of 2 starts back. Helen can sit just off the pace, and again, that class drop you mentioned, substantial. You mentioned the runner-up, now multiple stakes placed. The winner that day was odds on. The 5 is Chaclet, and I know this is one of your little pet angles, Matt, a horse where the light bulb just turns on after several losses, and this horse lost 10 times in a row before winning her most recent start, and she needed to drop down to the $50,000 maiden claiming level to do so. We have a formulator fact for Chaclet's trainer, Dale Romans, over the past 4 years, with 3-year-old last out maiden winners on dirt, coming off a mini 31 to 44 day freshening, 27% winners, a $4 ROI. Didn't beat much, I thought, last time out. Liked the improved positional speed, and Timeform US has her close to the pace. Of the sort of main to fringe contenders, she might be one of the better prices.
No, I agree. I picked her second in here. Like you say, she didn't really beat much in that run. The 2 horses that have come back to run, they've earned 23 and 41 buyers, so nothing to write home about. But at the same time, I think there is something to be said in a short field like this. She is at least in good form, and I think, it may sound like it's kind of a throwaway line, but I think that goes a long way in a race like this.
Now the figs are competitive enough. I didn't mind her runner-up effort last year at Churchill Downs behind Cosmic Code going 2 turns. She made a wide mid-move into that race. Cosmic Code was the big favorite that day. I'm not worried about the stretch out in distance, but we'll see if Chaclet just simply found the right field last time out. Dana Grace completes the field. You mentioned she beat 3 of these common foes or finished ahead of them in her most recent start. She did win her start prior to that on dirt 3 starts back in very easy fashion, and you gotta like this outside post position. It gives the jockey plenty of options to sit in the clear, and she's got the figs.
The only thing that I'm concerned about with this filly, her only win came in gate to wire fashion. So yes, that outside draw, it gives Gonzalez some options. You can sit off if somebody is intent on going. There is a part of me that's concerned that perhaps she doesn't have that gear in her. Maybe she doesn't have the rating ability to go and finish the deal. It's going to be very interesting to see how they play it, and I'm sure they will just play the break. If nobody is intent on going, you send and you try to clear. If there's for some reason a duel to the inside, you sit just off and use the post to your advantage.
You have to remember this horse was 68-1 in that race last time out. And yes, she did finish ahead of several of these other horses, but it was quite the surprise that she did so. She will be a mere fraction of those odds come post time on Wednesday. So as we look at our top selections for this race, we both agree that we're kind of against that little starter stakes race, the Queen Mother, where Dana Grace did best. You're going with Helen, the class dropper. It is tough to win when taken away from Claudio Gonzalez, but boy, Barboza's having a really nice meet as well, and this really looked good in that win two-back.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. I also look at it first time as a 3-year-old. Hopefully you do get a little bit of a forward move here. And, it's Captain Obvious. She makes plenty of sense in here. I think she might be even money when it's all said and done. But you summed it up right. I want the fresh faces. I went 4-5-2 in here.
Chaclet will be my top pick simply because she's going to be a little bit of a better price. She had to work hard on the turn to stay close to that pace setter last time out. Maybe she actually wants a little bit more distance than the 6 furlongs, but she is going to have to prove it against better horses, and she may be on the chase against Helen in here. I went 5-6-4 in race number 10 at Gulfstream Park on Wednesday. It is your DRFBets race of the day. Double your action when you sign up for a DRFBets account. It's very simple with DRFBets. Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for Wednesday's DRFBets race of the day, 5:48 Eastern. Best of luck.